Hey guys, is this thing on?
I'm sure I plugged it in. Is that plugged in over there?
Andy, is this thing on?
Checking. 1, 2.
Is this thing on?
Check. I have phantom power.
That was good.
Welcome to Chicks with Gear, the podcast where three lifelong friends get together, drink some coffee, play some music, talk about gear, and our quest for the most perfect acoustic sound on stage. I'm Deb.
I'm Julie.
I'm Andy.
Who's not a chick. No, he's not. He's our resident gearhead, the fabulous Andy Most. Andy.
Julie.
Hey, we got a guest in the house.
Yes,
Man.
we do.
Do you want to introduce?
I do.
Yes.
This is probably one of my favorite people that I hardly even know. But I'm here today. But absolutely. It's Anna Lee.
Oh, thank you. I like that intro. Oh, that's so cool. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the warm welcome.
We are thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, we are in the real person. I mean,
Wait, let's try that. I hope she's in the real person.
She's a real person.
I am a real person, not just that, not Oz. I am not the voice behind the curtain. Although I am that sometimes.
I know, right? I know.
I play that on the radio, not TV, but on the radio.
That's right.
It's magical.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm here because I know you because of Andy reaching out to me.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Tell about the story, Andy.
Well, yeah, that's my sound.
That's Andy's sound. There's his crickets. Yes.
We were making music.
We were making music.
We wanted it on the
sisters here.
radio.
We did. I co-produce, play, write with the sisters.
Yes.
And I was thinking, how can we get this heard somewhere, which is about impossible to do. Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I knew that local show, well, not local, somebody else should do this. Anyway,
You're doing fine.
basically took
You
a
knew
wild chance and emailed Anna Lee, who has an incredible show, Local Brew, over at WMOT.
Yes, come on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's fabulous.
I was like, I don't know, maybe she'll respond.
Yeah.
And she did. And
that is my job.
yes.
And you know what? I'm so lucky to have that job, but because of finding people like you. Thank you for reaching out, Andy.
Absolutely.
A thrill to hear it on the radio. I'm
Yeah.
just going to tell you.
Thank you for playing our
Yeah.
music.
It really is.
Well, I loved your story too. Sisters Wade revival. I like I like the revival part of it. I'm glad you're making music again. And what you sent me is just a fit for what we do at WMOT. I think maybe the first song I played was your cover of "Can't Find My Way Home."
Yeah.
I think it was, and
Yeah.
it's really, really. And thank you. You played it when you did our Finally Friday show live. Yeah. Cool.
Which was also a thrill.
Yes. So now that we have you here in person,
I'm here.
we want to know about you.
Oh,
Yes.
This is weird because I'm usually the one asking about you, but I already did that at Finally
You already
Friday.
did
yeah.
that. Yes.
Well, I love music. Shocking. And I thought it was kind of funny and ironic when we first talked about me doing your podcast because it's called Chicks with Gear. And while I am a chick that has gear and has to use gear for her job, I am not a gearhead. I'll be honest.
Either are we.
I can tell you what I use in my little home studio where I record my show for the Local Brew on WMOT, and my midday show Monday through Friday. Sometimes Friday, sometimes I'm at 3rd and Lindsley hosting Finally Friday, and it was a learning experience for me because I'd never done radio that was not I walked into a studio and started pushing buttons and talking and playing music. This is different. I have to set it up. I have to check the levels. I have to make sure I'm sending it in the right format. I have to make sure my microphone works. It just fell off the table and broke the other day.
Oh, no. That sounds like totally something I would do.
Totally needed that sound effect. Thank you. I did. That was me. And I yelled downstairs to the gearhead that I live with, Jay, who has a full-on studio. And also, incidentally,
Yay, Jay.
Yay, Jay. He is the creator of the theme music for the local brew show.
Oh, we did not know that.
Yeah. So next time you listen to the local brew,
shout out.
you can hear that groovy sound. It sounds like a kind of a 70s
Yeah, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
sort
like
of
it.
soundtrack. You've heard it.
Oh,
I've heard
yeah.
it because you've listened to the show.
Of
Duh.
course.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about me when I forget sometimes that people are actually listening to the radio. And
Yes, and they're
what I
texting
say.
a lot of people while
I
they're
know.
listening to
Hey,
it.
we're on.
too.
Listen to this.
Oh,
After
that's
this
so
next
cool.
song, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. That makes me really happy. Makes me want to keep doing what I do.
Yeah.
You know. So a little about me because I've been doing this for a few minutes, so this might take a while.
We
But
got
I
all
just-
the time in the world.
I kind of just fell into the music business when I was 18 and I got out of high school. And my friend said, "Do you want a job at a record company where I'm working?" And I said, "What do you mean
Wow.
a record company? That sounds dreadful. Like going through, you mean like people's files and like filing
Oh, yeah, no.
bank records?" Or I didn't know. I thought she meant like, record keeping, like files and stuff.
Yeah.
And that sounded,
No, thank you.
it sounded dreadful. I was 18. I'm like, no, that sounds horrible. And she was like, "No, you idiot. I'm talking about albums." This was the late 70s. So it was all
wow.
albums and cassettes.
Yeah.
And so I went, okay. And it was the distribution arm of a major label, Polygram is what it became. So at that time, it was the place I worked was called Polydor, and Polydor was one of the labels. It was called Phonogram. I'm surprising myself that I can actually remember this. And we were a distribution. So I literally sat there taking orders on the phone from people at retail stores, whether they were mom and pop retail stores or chain stores. This is so old that we didn't have somebody that just keyed in an order and sent it via the internet because it didn't exist yet. So
That's
they
right.
called me on the phone and I would write it down. Okay, you want 20 copies of Kiss Alive 2? You got it,
Wow.
That was my entry into the music business. And then I was hooked when we had to do physical inventory one weekend where everybody that worked at the distribution center would come out into the warehouse and literally count everything in there. And I mean, we had Capricorn, so we had all the Allman Brothers and Marshall Tucker Band. We had Casablanca, so we had Kiss and Donna Summer and Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
Wow.
And on and on and on. So there was just a humongous catalog of music stored in this warehouse. So we counted it all. And then they brought all the stuff into like the lunchroom, break room where they had all the overstock stuff they were going to get rid of.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, "Okay, you guys, whatever you want."
Oh.
I'm 18, right?
Oh,
my
yeah.
eyes are bugging out of my head. Woo! Totally.
Give me that one.
Yes, I grabbed every Marshall Tucker album, every Allman Brothers album, every Kiss album, everything I could get. I even took stuff I didn't know what it was because I liked the album cover. I'm
Well,
like, this looks cool.
I think that's what
Why
people
not?
miss today because we spent a lot of years. I mean, that was the first thing we did: run into the music store, look at all the, we'd go look at the singles, we'd go look at the record covers,
Yep.
and just, spend hours in there, and it's just like that's kind of a lost thing.
Thankfully, there's still some independent stores here in Nashville where
Yes.
you can do that and you can hear in-store play. I can't tell you how many bands, even being... So from that point on, from 18 on, I've always worked in the music business. I took a short break when I first got to Nashville, but we'll get to that. I came to Nashville to get out of music. So
What?
you can see how well that worked out. I stayed out for 9 years.
Maybe not the best city to not be involved in.
But since we're there, I went to a temp agency when I got here, and 2002 and said, "Here's my resume. Please send me anywhere that's not music related."
No way.
And they were like, "Have you seen
You
your
are
own resume?"
unusual.
I just needed a break.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean? I had done it since I was 18. I was now 40 something. And I wanted to just be a fan again and not have it be my job.
Yeah, I
Because
can
I understand that.
I ended up working for the president of Capitol Records. I worked for House of Blues marketing in the corporate office, which was really an awesome company to work for before
it was.
got taken over. And so I've had a long career in the music business doing the concert side of it and the promotion side of it and the record label side of it on the executive level. And all the time I was doing that, I was in radio. So on the weekends, at the middle of the night, and then that was my full-time job for a while too. But so when I came here, I just needed a break. So I worked at the Tennessean in marketing, and then radio sucked me back in. They pulled me back in.
Come on.
Have you seen her resume? We need her back.
I was listening to Lightning 100, and this was back in early 2000s. I started working there in 2011 when I'd had enough of the corporate world at the newspaper. And the newspaper was really, that was a strange time to be there because it was really going through changes, switching from paper subscriptions to online, it was a time. But I'm glad I did it, and I loved it and made a lot of lifelong friends. And then radio came calling again. I loved the independent sound and what they were doing at Lightning at that time. So I just sent somebody a demo, and
Well, you have a great voice.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, and then it led to WMOT, and here I am.
And here she is.
Yeah.
So you've had
Yeah, I was going to say.
That was the short version.
that's a short version, but
A lot of living in there.
I'm sure people would love to hear about some of the, I would really call them magic moments that
Like the crazy stuff.
yeah, or just people that you've gotten to interview or meet.
I've been
what
really
stands
lucky.
out?
I have been really lucky. Let's see. What stands out? Well, some of the crazy things we did back in the day at Capitol Records include having a party on the roof for the Beastie Boys.
Oh, wow.
And it was for their Ill Communication album. We had given them a label deal, so they had their own label, Grand Royal Records. And they were there, and pretty much the whole staff and radio people, marketing people, publicists, everybody, the industry party. And nobody fell off the roof. There wasn't even a railing or anything, which was surprising. One time we hauled in sand. We were at Hollywood and Vine in Hollywood. We were like, I don't know, 20 minutes from the beach.
Oh, my gosh.
With no traffic. But we hauled in sand into the parking lot at Capitol Records to celebrate the Beach Boys box set.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
It was nuts.
Oh, yeah.
We did a lot of really wild things. And, it was, I'm glad that I worked in the music business at a time when major labels like that really put their resources into artist development. It was so important, and it's not like it is now. We would sign artists to a 2 or 3 album deal. And if the first one didn't fly, then we would work on artist development. What do you need? Do you need a songwriting partner? Do you need a vocal coach? What do you need? We're not talking auto-tune. We're talking,
No.
this is such a long time ago. I worked at Capitol Records from 91 till 98 when labels were still really into artist development. We would sign them to a couple album deal instead of just a couple singles or one single or even anything like a spec or something. And if the first one didn't work out, maybe it was the second album, or maybe it was even the third album. And an example of that is Blind Melon. Everybody knows No Rain, right? Yeah, we love that song. I love that song. And that was actually the third single from that album that we released at Capitol Records back then, and I think it was 92. 93, I think, is when it finally hit. I can't remember exactly, but around then. And nobody wanted to give up. Everybody really believed in that band. Everybody that worked at the label, from the president on down to the guys in the mailroom. Everybody loved them. And so we kept going. And then the B-Girl video happened, and everybody knows the rest about Blind Melon. And then sadly, the singer passed away a few years after that. But they got a few albums that they made and released. And that's what I miss about that time, is seeing that dedication to one band. I mean, we had, we had like MC Hammer, Bonnie Raitt, we had John Hyatt, we had Poison, we had Megadeth, like we had the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole. I mean, it's Capitol Records, right? Yeah. But here's Blind Melon, this little band from Indiana that one of our A&R people, Tim Devine, he was responsible for bringing Bonnie Raitt and John Hyatt, and he's a legendary A&R guy, but he brought that band, and everybody believed in it so much, and they stuck with it, and that's what happened. It became a massive hit, and
Yeah, I would say that is one of the saddest things for younger artists coming in. It's if you can't hit in a second, they're like, next, as opposed to developing, seeing something in someone and go like, how do we help them break through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do think that's kind of sad turn of events.
Because it's more about how many social media followers you have now than your actual talent, right?
I know.
I could never be an A&R guy because I've seen a few acts before they got going, and I won't mention any names, and I would see them, and I was no way, and they are huge now. It's like, missed another one.
Oh, no. That happens too. That does happen too. But I mean, to be involved in something like that where the dedication was so real, and I was one of those people. I mean, I loved that band, and I feel like they were ahead of their time. They would have been headlining Bonnaroo for sure if they were still around. But so that's just a brief history of my time at Capitol Records. As far as interviewing people, I mean, so many wonderful conversations I've had with people like Brandi Carlile and John Hyatt, and my mind always goes blank. It's like that.
Sheryl Crow, I saw in your resume.
Yeah, Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow. She was so warm, and her whole band came in and played in the studio.
Really?
Lightning 100. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she brought the whole band, everybody, drums and everything. And it was real. She was very real. So was Brandi, very real. I felt like I'd known them, Really?
I love that.
One of my favorite interviews is actually, I don't know if it's my favorite interview, but it was a very difficult interview from the beginning. And then something happened. I'll tell you real quickly. It was Rich Robinson of the Black Crowes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Guitar player of the Black Crowes. And he's known for being very reserved, and he doesn't really talk a lot. And and he had a solo record. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be challenging. There have been many challenging ones where it's like pulling teeth, and there have been some that are just great talkers. And like Luther Dickinson, oh my gosh, I would just say something and he would just go. That was one of my favorite interviews. But so Rich Robinson's sitting there, and I'm trying to be funny and be myself and try to loosen him up a little bit. And we're in the middle of talking something about the new album, and he's a little stiff. And the guy that was supposed to be videoing it was late. So he comes opens the studio door. The red light was on. Okay, the gear was working. The red light was on. He comes in, and we just were taken aback by somebody entering the studio while the red light was on, right? We rely on that red light.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And so we both stopped, and we just looked and lost our train of thought. And I just looked at him and I go, so what was it like to be on stage at the Greek Theater in LA with Jimmy Page? and he kind of like, I saw this little wry smile, and he kind of chuckled. He knew, because he was thrown as well.
Yeah.
And that broke the ice, and then it was a real fun interview after that.
Oh, yeah.
He just goes, awesome. But then he talked. Yeah, then he talked about it. It was really cool. So,
well, interviewing, and we're learning as we go, is quite an art. I told them I listened to Hartshorn for like ever and ever and ever on the road when we were driving around, and I'm not a big fan of him as his entertainment, but when he interviews people, it is stunning, the things he can get them to talk about. How did you learn to be such a great interviewer?
Much the same way, by listening to other people that I thought were really great interviewers. And listening is key. Yeah. Listening to the person that you're interviewing so you can respond to what they're saying other than just knowing what you're... I've heard interviewers that just kind of go from question to question.
Yes.
And my whole thing behind interviewing is I want to create a conversation. So if I'm not listening to what you're saying, we're just going to go down the line. It's just like a Q&A, right?
Yeah.
But so that's
Yeah.
I can't remember who some of my favorites were, but just it took me a while though. I will
Yeah,
say
it's not
it's not
easy.
something that came naturally. But now I really like talking to people, and I'm really interested in what artists have to say about their stories and what inspires you to write and what inspired you to be in music. Did you grow up in a musical family? I mean, it sounds like, rote questions, but it's all stuff I really want to know. And everybody's story is
I
different.
was just going to say, everyone's story is so different,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things. And we've had people on the show that we've known for years, decades, and I'm always amazed that they come on and we're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that about you!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!" And I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fun thing to do. So I don't know. I think it's just trying to make people comfortable and say, hey, we're just going to chat, just I don't know, like you guys are trying to make me comfortable here.
On video.
I am
You're doing a great job.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
good.
Well, why don't we take a Magic Mind break to make everyone more comfortable? Yeah. So we started doing this at the beginning of the show because I was having focus issues. I had a lot going on in my life, and I heard about this, and I just love it, but don't feel like you have to do it.
I really want to. I need to investigate the ingredients so I don't kill myself.
Yeah, we don't want anyone to die from Magic Mind. That would not be magical. That would be criminal.
Magical.
And our podcast would be off the air.
Yeah, I'm a big Perry Mason fan. They might storm in here and investigate the case of the Magic Mind.
Not so magic.
Thank you. Cheers.
But cheers. We will cheers you.
Oh, yeah, but I am definitely going to because I need that help.
I think
Focusing.
everyone does.
Well, there's a lot going on in the world to distract us, and focus is key.
It is key.
And it's key to everything we do, whether it's you're performing or whether it's us conducting an interview, me interviewing you, or you interviewing me, whatever it is,
It is. And the phones, I think, are meant to distract you in a way. And it is messing with everyone's brains, I think. And so I've been really trying to do things differently with my phone so that I can focus more. And it is amazing how our brains can react to that because I haven't been doing it very long, but I just started doing it about 2 weeks ago. And I am really seeing a difference in my own mind.
Give me the tip.
Oh my gosh,
What?
do I believe that? I don't know.
I think you should take this stuff right when you bring your gear on stage, Deb, before. Speaking of focusing.
Yeah, it's talking. What do you mean? Tell about the last couple
Hair
of
looks
gigs
great,
we've had.
Got the right blouse on. All right, is your stuff
I got
plugged in?
my
Did you bring your
pedal board.
amp today?
Did you bring all the cords?
Yeah.
Did we bring the cords?
Terrible.
Just saying.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Well, that's because I have a lot going on.
We all do.
I know.
That's
Well,
it.
She's being all serious. and
I
you're
know.
like,
I know. We're the hecklers. We can't.
That was
help
really
it.
good, Andy. He doesn't say much, but when he does,
He's always
Yes.
waiting. He's always like, I got it. I know.
I'm listening.
He's listening. See, he is. He's a listener.
that's
Yes.
good.
All right, so we're all magic up. So,
Yeah. Awesome.
Yay.
Andy, I know you've got some burning questions for Anna.
I do.
Yes.
I do. So, one of your shows, The Local Brew,
Yes.
airs twice a week, correct?
It does.
First time on Sunday,
Yes.
Sunday morning,
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Middle of the night for me
Excellent. Yeah.
on a Sunday.
Oh, yes.
So, is it pre-recorded? Sometimes it's live, sometimes it isn't. I mean, you're recording in a studio. At
Yes,
your
the local brew.
residence.
The local brew is definitely recorded. Sometimes my regular show is live during the week, Monday through Thursday, usually, because Friday I'm usually at Finally Friday, and that of course is live, as you know, because you've done that show. But
We were very excited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
and you can actually hear Sisters Wade Revival's performance at WMOT.org. Just click the on-demand tab.
Come on.
It's there. But I huge portion of my job is listening to submissions. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that 6 years ago when I first started the local brew. I still seek out talent, but I so appreciate artists like you guys sending me your music. People always ask me what's the best way to submit. And my email address is annalee@wmot.org.
Right.
Just send me your music and tell me about yourself. And hopefully listen to the radio station so kind of know what we sound like. Metal, polka, probably not.
No polka.
In
Hardcore,
the old
improvisational jazz, probably not. Not that I don't like that, but probably not. So yeah, I mean, I prefer that people send me. Well, it kind of, I don't know, it's hard. I mean, I'll take like a SoundCloud link if you want to send me your album. Then I can listen to the whole thing in one fell swoop and go, oh, I really like this. These tracks work. Why don't you send me downloads of those 3 songs?
Oh, okay.
I also don't mind if you just send me your album, if you send me a link to download it. So, I mean, don't send me a bunch of just attached waves.
Right.
That would probably crash everything. But you could send me a Dropbox link, a Google link, a Disco link, anything that you're using that's file sharing that can include MP3s or WAV files. And if you want to send me super high quality WAV files, that's okay, but it takes a lot longer to download. And I just convert them down to 44 by 16s anyway, because that's what we air.
Chicks with gear, yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, did I sound
44,
smart?
16, yes. You did.
Techie.
Because
Very technical.
when I was going to send it, I was thinking, okay, if I don't want to, am I sending a wave? Well, is that too much? That
Yes.
Dropbox, I suck at Dropbox, but I figured it out. And I was like, I
You
think
did
she
figure
got
it
it.
out,
So,
yeah. Well, there's a
anyway,
couple ways
yeah.
you can do it. People used to use WeTransfer, and I'm glad they're moving away from that because that thing was a pain in the butt because it had an expiration date. And I'm like,
I know.
What is that?
I
We
might
do
not
that
get
stuff.
to it by then. You
We
know?
use WeTransfer, Indy and I, back and forth for the podcast and stuff. And it is a pain in the arse.
But we're usually taking care of it within a couple of days.
Yes, it is true.
we're good.
When you're doing something like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but I think somebody told me they were moving to a pay model now, so you have to. I'm not sure.
Oh, I do pay for
Yeah.
a better
subscription,
subscription, and it is actually better.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm sure
oh,
it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
But it's pricey.
But I don't pay for WeTransfer. I do pay for Dropbox and I do pay for extra Google Drive space. So I have plenty of space because I store all my shows. I have all of my shows since I started producing it. When I first started doing the show 6 years ago, we had an intern that was producing it, and I have no idea what happened to those shows.
No.
No, I don't have them.
That is so sad.
I know, but it's okay because I have all the ones from 2021, I think.
Okay.
Forward. So I have a huge bank of shows.
Oh, wow.
Recently, I celebrated episode number 300. Which,
Congratulations.
I thought that was kind of a big deal. I don't know if I've ever stuck with anything in my life that long.
Should have been some balloons or something.
Well, we did have that was for the local brew. We did have a 5-year anniversary party.
Oh, wow.
Which was based on when I first did the first show, which was in April of 2019. So we had a live show at Tennessee Brew Works.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was really, really fun. And somebody brought balloons and
nice.
yeah.
So
Anyway.
did that show exist before you, or did you create that
I created
show?
it,
Oh, that's
yeah.
even more cool.
It was for me because that was one of the reasons they hired me. And they said, they knew me from Lightning 100 and
Yeah.
you've been in the local scene for a while. I was not the local show host there, but that was a very local station. And we did so many local live events.
Yes.
And I did host Nashville Sunday Night, which was at 3rd and Lindsley, similar to Finally Friday. So when I started hosting Finally Friday, I was like, ooh, deja vu. This is super cool.
It is super cool.
It's cool because 3rd and Lindsley feels like home. Everybody's great there. Ron Bryce, the owner, is a fabulous venue owner. It's still independent. They've really been able to fight through all the development and keep that venue going. It's kind of hard to park now, but it's worth it. You know, it's
It is. You can Uber. I mean, most people Uber now, anyways.
yeah.
Although Uber's not as safe as it used to be in Nashville. Have you heard some of those stories?
Lyft,
Oh my God.
Maybe
I don't
not
know.
do that.
Yeah.
How many submissions do you think you get a week?
Oh gosh, I wish I had a number. I don't
Roughly,
know.
right? Yeah. Lots.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between how many just general submissions I get and how many that are viable for the local brew. Because I subscribe to a service called Play MPE, which I don't know if you guys use to distribute your music, but that's what most independent artists use, and record labels and independent radio promoters use Play MPE. And I don't know how much it costs from the artist side of it, but we subscribe to it, and it's free for us because we get submitted, and so do radio stations all across the country. So as an artist, if you do a campaign with Play MPE, you get a write a bio, you get and if you have a radio promotion person that's doing all that for you, they just do it.
Right.
But so I get everything. I mean, I subscribe to certain lists: roots music, blues, rock, bluegrass, folk, country, because Americana is
humongous.
We could make a whole podcast about what Americana is.
Love
right?
it, too.
I know.
Yeah, I do too. Because we were talking a little bit before we started about the different kinds of music that we like, and my taste in music is very broad and kind of crazy, but that's how I grew up. My parents were like that. They liked, and my dad liked everything from opera and classical to Hank Williams was his favorite, and everything in between. So jazz, everything. And I have a crazy album collection because I inherited their albums.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have 78s of Hank Williams.
Oh my gosh.
My mom's from the 50s. Yeah, super cool. Wow. And so I need the focus. I can't remember what I was talking about. I probably need to drink the other half.
You need to drink the other half of Magic Mind so we can hear the whole story.
I know.
So we were talking about
How many
all the
submissions?
submissions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy.
Yes.
Andy drank the whole
I'm
bottle.
listening.
That's the difference.
I'm listening.
So that number is vast.
Yeah, no doubt.
But it comes in waves also. Usually close to the holidays and through January, it really kind of slows down. I don't get nearly as many submissions. I get maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 a week that are viable. I mean, maybe 500 a week that aren't viable. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if that's even accurate. I have no idea. Yeah. I know I have 19,000 unread emails. I can tell you. If that puts it into any kind of perspective, then maybe that works. But
so submit to her in January, February-ish.
Yeah. I will say, surprisingly, 2024 and into 2025 felt like it did not slow down.
Really?
Yeah, I got tons of submissions that. Because in December, I start to do a year-end wrap-up. I don't like doing a top 10 list or a top 20 list because mine would be like a top 1,000 list.
Oh, sure.
My old boss at the Tennessean used to say, it would be easier to ask you what bands you don't like than what bands you do like. And I said, that's true.
Yeah.
I could narrow it down a lot easier. But that would even be hard because I just like so much. I mean, if it's good music, if it's produced well, not necessarily like slick, in fact, the opposite of that. I like it a little rough around the edges. I love the Rolling Stones, I like it a little rough around the edges, and I like, because I like it real. I like it authentic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. And, I will listen to anything somebody sends me that says they're Nashville based. I mean, whether you're independent, whether you have a record label, whether it's your publicist sending it, whether it's your radio promoter sending it, I will listen to it. That's what I thrive on that because that's how I found that's how I found you guys. And I loved your music and I loved your talent and I wanted to tell people about it. I was that friend in high school or even probably younger that was like, you have to hear this new album. Have you heard this? Yeah. I've saved my babysitting money and I'm going to the record store and I'm paying $2.50 for this album. Yeah. Again, this was long.
Can you imagine? Oh no, we're right there with you. I mean,
but that's how I always was. So for me to discover that I could do that on the radio and just tell people and make a small wage, I was like, okay, I'm practically ready to pay you to do it. So
I know.
You'll pay me a little bit, I'll do it.
I mean, you have a really cool job.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just the people you get to meet, but just you're keeping a certain kind of music too in the limelight, because so much with the social media and the way music is distributed now and the way people make money making music. It's so easy to get lost and to have a voice, that's local, that you would think in Nashville would be a lot more easy to get your music locally. It's not. So,
especially since Nashville's become a bigger market.
yeah,
you
it's
know,
really
for sure.
harder.
Yeah,
So-
it's not as localized, but we pride ourselves on being a community radio station because that's what we are. We're a nonprofit public radio station.
Now, because you're located at MTSU, is that right? Are you part of MTSU or is it just separate?
No, MTSU actually owns WMOT,
Oh, okay.
which stands for Middle of Tennessee.
Oh,
Isn't that cool? I didn't know that.
I did
until
not know
worked-
that.
I didn't either. Until
There
I worked
is a
there.
landmark right by the school that it's the dead middle of the state.
Look at Julie. Look at Julie with the info. Good one. I did not know
that's so
that.
cool.
Yeah, it's like a pillar.
Wow.
It'll say direct middle of the state right there.
And that's why we're WMOT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
In 1969 is when that station started.
No
and it
way.
was, when it started, it was more similar to what it is now. It was, playing a lot of folk and protest songs of the era. And then it kind of evolved over the years. And when I first got to Tennessee in 2002, it was a jazz station.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at night, Bob, I forget whatever his name was.
I don't
What was
remember.
it? Yeah.
You would remember more than me, but I do remember hearing cool jazz on the radio going,
Absolutely.
oh, this is cool. Oh, it's a college station. Of course it's cool. you
Yeah.
know? So then in, I think 2009 or 10, I can't remember exactly what year it was. I think this is our 9th year on the air right now.
Oh,
So maybe 2011. Do the math. I'm not good at math.
Me
Math
either.
is hard.
That's why we have calculators.
That's why I'm in radio, which is a misnomer. Radio, you do have to do math all the time, especially when you're live, because you're like, okay, I have 3.5 minutes left in this hour. I have to talk. I have to get in another song, and I have to get in a sponsor. So math comes
talk.
into play.
And math comes into play in a lot of ways.
Never thought I was going to have to do
8,
dang it, no.
9.5.
4, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4.
for you
8
guys,
notes,
for
quarter
you
notes,
guys too,
16,
right?
16 notes. What the hell is that?
I know, but now we do it so much, I don't even think about it.
I don't either. I can look at the clock and go, oh, this will all fit
Yeah.
in my somehow
crazy?
in my brain. Yeah, it is. So
Brain is amazing. It is. It's like,
Thank goodness for brains.
I need more magic mind.
Yes.
it's pretty tasty, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
does
I
taste
know.
good.
It's not
See, that
bad.
could be. I don't want to just be like chugging it because it tastes good. That could get scary.
So I did donate a Chevy Cavalier to WMOT.
You did.
I did.
No
Years and years ago. I think it ran. Whatever. I'm sure it went to auction.
You can donate
It
that.
was towed there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
It was
donate
too-
that dead heap in the driveway.
way.
Oh my
That is so
gosh.
cool.
Oh, I did it once back in California. I donated to the Arthritis Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, before I even knew I had arthritis. It
Look
was
at you.
yeah, it was just something that was a cause that I was into giving money to, and my car was going to die, and it wasn't worth. It was still running, but it wasn't
Yeah.
worth putting the money in to fix, and so I did
yeah.
that. And yes, we accept donations. That's how we stay on the air because we're listener powered. But a lot of people think, and I thought this too before I worked there, that all public radio, if you're in the NPR network, that you're getting government funding from the Center for Public Broadcasting. That's not true. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, most people think you do, and they'll be okay. They're
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ours is the majority of the budget that we have to operate every year is from listeners, listener funded. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And
That is cool. So everybody start donating now.
thank you. WMOT.org.
seriously.
Yeah.
It's tax deductible because we're a legitimate 501c3. We're nonprofit, and by donating cars. Thank you, Andy. Magical.
That is
Seriously.
really magical.
Yeah,
I
it
had
is.
no idea.
And,
We're learning
uh,
so much today.
Cars, boats, jet skis, even
Airplanes.
motorcycles. You got a private plane you want to donate? I don't know how they're going to tow it, but yeah, it's I think it's 1-888 WMOT car or something like that. It's on the
Wow.
website.
fabulous.
WMOT.org is a treasure trove of info.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a challenge. It's been a challenge for me because I've spent my entire career in commercial radio. where it's like, hey, go to Shanco and buy a diamond. Hey, go down to the Chevy dealer and buy 3 cars, you know, and go to the show, go, be early. You know, it's going to be awesome. And so we're not allowed to do that because we are non-commercial, which means we cannot promote commerce.
Yeah, because when we
You
played
remember
the show,
that?
there was like a whole bunch of stuff. Don't say this, don't do that.
Yeah, don't tell people on the radio to buy my merch, you know. Yeah, it's limiting in some ways, but we have creative ways to work around that and still get the message out.
Right.
Without literally saying, go buy something, you know.
Not breaking the law.
I mean, do you have to say go buy something when you're saying, hey, WMOT is presenting a show at the Blue Room. Go to theblueroombar.com for more information. Doesn't that kind of imply that that's where you would get the tickets?
Yes.
Most people are smart enough to figure that out.
And if they're not, we really don't want them at the show.
Doesn't matter. They're lost. Get a brain. Drink some
Magic mind. Come on, people. Pay attention to your teacher.
So it has been challenging, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I like public radio.
Yeah.
I can remember years ago, we're from Massachusetts and a lot of local radio stations like NPR up there. And they would say, if you don't donate today, we're off the air. And I used to think that was just like a pretend message just to get people to donate. Is that real?
That's pretty threatening. I mean,
It is Yankee land. It's like pay up or else. Okay.
In the
Live
words
free
of
or
Debbie,
die.
that's kind of aggressive.
We try not to be that threatening, but I mean, theoretically, yes, that could happen.
Okay.
If everybody stopped donating, and we just had our spring fundraising drive, and it was a little bit challenging this time around.
Was it?
Yeah, people are, the stock market's doing crazy stuff. People there's a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
So people are a little afraid, but we try to say, and this is true, if not for public radio, I mean, if you just kind of let it go away all over the country, then that's kind of frightening.
That is really frightening.
To me, that's
Yeah,
kind
it
of
is to me
frightening.
too.
But we don't, we're not on there going, if you don't donate today, we're off the air. We're off the air and it's your fault.
Losers!
That's about how they talk up there. I'm just going to
They're
say.
killing me.
So,
Yes, please donate to help keep us on the air, but we're not going off the air tomorrow.
yeah, we're not going to be that intense.
Is it Emerson College in
So I went my first year to Emerson College.
You did? They had a cool radio station.
They had a really cool radio
Yeah.
station. And then I finished up at the New England Conservatory.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Did you go there too?
I went to Bridgewater State.
To where?
Bridgewater State.
Oh, okay.
It was a college then, but it's a university now.
It's a big
cool.
deal.
Okay.
And I actually, one of my friends tried to get me to do the radio station with him. He's like, come on, let's do
man.
it. And actually, I was going to do it. And then our band just got really busy.
Oh,
and
well,
so I
that's
kept
cool.
blowing him off. And he was like, come on, you're supposed to help me. And I was like,
busy playing music.
sorry, I got
Get a
I got a
band
gig. And I'm sleeping in the library at 8:00 in the morning.
I was sleeping in my business law class every morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's like,
He's like, wake up. And I'm like,
sorry, I was gigging till 3.
So you guys were young when you started. Then you were in college when you
Oh
started.
my
playing
gosh,
music?
we started playing music when we were little bitty. Our mom was one of those stage moms. And so we played trumpet. And so she got us, like, we would play at nursing homes.
We had the
Oh,
nursing
that's
home.
cool.
gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom did that too. She played piano.
It's so nice. They were so grateful to listen.
Yeah.
Listen
And we
in.
loved it. We loved doing it.
And we all know what an elixir music is and
yeah.
how good it is for your brain. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it really, when my dad was really old, he lived to 92 and he was, he didn't have like full on Alzheimer's. He knew who we were, but his mind was going.
Yeah.
But the last time I visited with him, I broke out some Hank Williams on my Spotify list and just started playing songs and he just started singing them, every lyric. Like, yeah, it was remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, my mom too, her mind was fine. She was crazy in other ways, but but I would play songs for her that
I know
like,
this family. Well,
Wait, you have the same. Wait,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
I played like she turned me on to Van Morrison early on, and Dr. John, and all kinds of music like that. And I would play them for her, and she would get up and dance. I mean, she was having a good time. But she was probably in her late 70s or maybe even 80, playing piano for the folks at the old folks home. And I'm like,
I
Mom,
love that.
you're old too, Mom.
Yeah.
She's like, not as old as him.
I know.
That's how our mother is. She's like, I don't want to go to that nursing home place with the people. They're old.
As long as she has that attitude. That's,
Yeah.
That's
No,
a good
she
thing.
has a
Did
great
you just tell Mom's age on our
I'll
show?
edit it out. Sorry, Mom.
That is no good.
Yeah. She'll tell people, like, it's none of your business when they ask her how old she is. Yeah. She's like, don't tell my
funny.
age. Yeah. So
She's the
we'll-
president of my fan club.
She is.
She loves Andy. Oh, yeah.
It's good to have one. It's good to have a president of the fan club. My mom would talk about, I guess, apple tree. My mom was not technically inclined at all. So here I am.
Here we are.
But I do have, I will tell you, we were going to talk about this earlier, but, I didn't have enough of this and I spaced. So I have my setup at home.
Yeah.
I have.
Hold on,
Should
thought.
we?
Three,
Let's
Talk
one.
We're talking gear.
I
Here.
know nothing about my gear except that I use a free open space. Is that what it's called? Program on a DAW.
Open source. Okay.
Yeah, open source. That's the word I was looking for. Open source Audacity is the DAW program. that I
Excellent.
use.
Oh, yeah.
We use that.
You do? Yeah.
I do,
It's
yeah.
super easy. I can do a lot. They keep adding stuff to it. They just added compression and limiters to it, so
Right.
you can play around with that. I mean, I don't, but you can.
Yeah.
I am going to, because my gearhead that I live with is going to help me out with that. So right now, the microphone that I had that fell off the table and
Yes.
broke
What kind of microphone?
was a USB Rode mic, which is pretty handy because you can take it on the road.
I don't know.
And
I know. These are road
These
mics.
are road mics.
yeah,
too.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Road. Look at that.
Podcaster, Mike.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're doing. It's
That's
much like
right.
radio,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's
Yes.
really not that different. I'm just I'm recording my voice at home and I'm inserting it into the music. That's how I do
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also upload a lot of other people's shows. Not all the DJs upload their own shows. They just record them unless they're live. But if they're recording them, then they send them to me or my boss, and we upload them into our system.
Are you your own engineer?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
The only time in my life I've ever had an engineer was when I did that video thing in the 80s when MTV was big.
Oh, yeah.
I was working at a top 40 station and they said everybody on the air has to do a 1-hour video show and it's going to air it live in the afternoon on the local TV station. I was like, no. This is a face for radio, people. I'm not doing that. And they were like, yes, you are. So I did value my job, so I did it. And so I had an engineer pushing the buttons and we had student interns running the teleprompter.
Oh, funny.
It was funny.
Faster,
And
slower,
not in
faster.
an aha way.
I know.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. I was either like "Brrrt," or going, I am not on drugs. The teleprompter's just really slow. So that was my experience with an engineer. And then I would be like, here's Janet Jackson or whatever the video was, and then just be like, waiting for them to push the button. So in my whole career, from spinning albums, turning the turntable, the album a quarter turn back, so it doesn't go when you start it. To that was in 1983, I think 4. I think in 1984. No, 3 was my first on-air job. I have a great story about that too. My very first
I wanna hear.
on-air shift ever. But to fast forward to now where everything is digital, all the music is digital, we don't cue albums. I do believe in the studio at MTSU we have turntables, and I think we're getting them installed at our remote studio, which is at Riverside Revival in East Nashville.
Oh, that's really cool.
Much better than driving to Murfreesboro from where
know.
I live. So
I know.
Traffic is awful.
anybody that has to drive down 24, even if you live in Murfreesboro, it's a nightmare.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So new Nashville,
I know.
Nice. That's really cool.
Stop coming. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I also have a Shure studio mic, which is what I'm going to move to because I broke my Rode. So I'm going to, the Shure, Jay, my gearhead partner, keeps telling me, why are you not using the Shure? It's so much better than the Rode. I mean, like the Rode is good. It sounds great on the air, you know, but the Shure is the top quality. I'm like, I know. But I like my little setup, you know. I got my little Rode mic. It goes straight into my PC, which is where my Audacity lives, and all my shows, all my local brew shows, all my daily shows, it's all there.
I bet it looks similar to that a little bit, maybe.
That's the Shure. Yeah, that's the studio mic. Yeah, that's the one. So actually, I think it's a little longer.
Right.
Yeah,
This one's for
That's a different one.
podcasting.
Okay,
There's probably SM80 anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is what it is.
Right.
Thank you for that. I didn't know the model
he knows
number.
all the numbers.
And even if it's not, I'm going with that.
Yeah.
But
Make it
it
look
looks just
good
like
here.
this, but a little bit longer.
Right.
That's what she said.
Yeah, so Jay's going to hook that up for me. He's going to, but to use this, because it's not a USB mic, back to gear, I have to plug in an XLR, and then I
Excellent.
have to plug that into a system that will feed it into my computer, which I have a Scarlett 2i2 for.
Excellent.
We have
I have one
Scarlett.
at my house myself.
We have a Scarlett.
Yay, Scarlett.
The mini
Well,
Scarlett right there.
I was like, it's called Scarlett and it's red. I love it. I have to have it.
I know.
That's how my brain works. But then I was like,
right here.
And we got a big Scarlett
that's
too.
the same one
Her
I have.
older
Is that the
sister.
2i2? Yeah, that's the one I have right there.
Yeah, she got that.
So, but I haven't been using that because the Rode plugs straight into the, the USB into the PC. But I used to, when I first started the local brew, go out into the wild and do a lot of interviews
Oh, wow.
in person. And I would take my Scarlett and two Shure 58s. And that's because that's what I had. Because Jay has,
Excellent.
a studio full
Yeah.
of Gearys. Because I had a couple of 58s. I'm like, that'll work. So, and they do. They sound fine. But, so anyway, for my daily show and for the local brew, I'm as soon as we get this switch over, I'm going to be using the Shure.
Into Audacity.
Into
Into Scarlett. Into
Yeah,
Audacity.
right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's my setup.
Excellent.
That's her gear,
on.
people.
That's good gear talk.
This is professional gear.
Kind of professional. I play one on the radio. But so my first night on the air story is gear related too.
Yes.
So you're going to like that.
I'm going to love it.
So this is the very first station I ever worked at when I went to radio school. I was
where?
So back up. I told the story about starting working, how I got through the label career that I had.
Yes.
But when I was about 22-ish, I really hated my dumb job, and it wasn't an industry job. It was some auto parts warehouse. It was really random, and I just had to have a job because I was living on my own, and I had a horse, so that was my number one priority: paying my horse's board rent. Okay, but gotta make sure my horse is okay. So I had to have a job. So I got this job at this auto parts warehouse, and we would listen to this really cool radio station where I grew up in LA called KMET, and the DJs were all so cool. They felt like my friends, and I want to be Cynthia Fox. She just sounds like I want to hang out with her. Yeah. And she's playing and all this great music, and I'm like, wait a minute. She's just talking about music and being cool on the radio and sounding. I mean, like, what an awesome job. Then I started hearing a commercial for the Los Angeles Broadcasters Radio School. And it literally said, friends have always told me what a good voice I have, and I really hate my dumb job. And I'm like, both of those things have happened to me.
That's me.
Maybe I should investigate. And I could be her,
Yeah.
I would aspire to be her, but I don't think she's on the air anymore, but she was for a long time until recently. Yeah, she was amazing, Cynthia Fox. And so that's what spurred me to go to the radio school. And then when I was not even halfway through it, I think because I like to talk, and people did always tell me I had a good voice. I was like, okay. It came kind of natural.
Yeah.
So I made a demo on cassette. And my mom and I drove from San Diego, California, all the way to Santa Barbara. And we just literally dropped into radio stations and gave them my resume, which had nothing on it. And I worked at a record label.
To be continued.
Yeah, right. Just watch me. And my demo tape, which was my resume.
Yes.
Because even though I didn't have anything to show for it, I mean, I went to this school and I learned how to talk on a microphone properly, which I'm not doing right now because I'm kind of all over the place.
That's right.
And how to edit, how to run a reel-to-reel machine, because we are talking a million years ago, and how to put sound effects in, how to make commercials, how to try to be natural. Wow. One of the best pieces of advice I got from one of my counselors in school was he said he was on a morning show of a radio station I used to listen to, which I ended up working at, which was pretty cool. But he goes, "You take this really seriously, don't you?" And I was like, yes. It's my life. Yeah. And he's like, "That's your problem. Stop taking it so seriously, calm down, have a good time, and throw all the seriousness of it out the window."
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, I know. I was like, I could never do that, because how could I not take this seriously?
Right.
I finally, I mean, I was only like 22, but still, I finally found something that I really could sink my teeth into, not just working at a label, but something that I felt was more me.
Yeah.
Funny side note, my dad was a radio broadcaster in the Army, which I did not know when I got into radio. He was an actor, which I did know, but I didn't know that he did interviews with people like Errol Flynn.
Oh my gosh.
People that were doing on the armed forces tours.
Right. Oh,
he was stationed in Anchorage, Alaska during World War II. He was a sportscaster, and but he also did regular radio, and I didn't know that.
So. Oh my gosh.
When I told him I wanted to go to radio school, can I borrow $1,000? He was like, sure.
I love it.
Yeah,
Come on.
It was really cool. And so fast forward, one of those stations hired me my mom and I drove up and down the coast too.
Wow.
I know. I was like, are you serious? Okay, I don't care. It was in Ventura. It was an hour away from where I lived. I didn't care. I drove there. And so my first night on the air, it was what's called live assist. And so the radio station was live on the air. When I pushed the button and turned the microphone, potted the mic up on the potentiometer.
Ooh, big word.
Chicks with gear.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
She said potential.
I have more in me than I thought.
Look at you. She's a gearhead.
I was live. That was live. But the music was stored on reel-to-reel tapes. So there was this huge bank. So here I am at the board. Here's the board. I'm pushing all the buttons and everything. Very first time ever live on the air. I did it in school, whatever. But this was people were really hearing
real people.
It was in the middle of the night, thank God. And it was an adult contemporary station called K-Star 96, KZTR in Ventura, California. We were playing like Kenny Rogers and Barbara Streisand. And I mean, not like Gambler Kenny Rogers. Well, we might have played the Gambler, but more like Lady,
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
In fact, that was the song that was playing when this happened.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, no.
So anyway, you would queue up the reel-to-reels, go sit back down at the board, do your break, blah, 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 hit the button, the reel-to-reel would fire. 3 songs would play. So then you had time to go over to the next reel, set up the next break, think about what you're going to say, talk again, boom, fire the next one. That's how it worked. So I fired it up, and the tape snapped.
Oh, no.
No, not kidding. It was Lady, Kenny Rogers. I will never forget that.
Oh.
No more lady.
No more nothing. We're talking dead air.
So what happened?
Well, I guess I had the training I needed for an emergency radio situation like that. I ran over to the bank of reel-to-reel machines. They were gigantic. They were taller than I was. I'm like this,
Oh, wow.
And I found where it broke, and I put it on the little splicing thingy, and I spliced the tape, and I taped it back together, and away we went.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't have headphones that could plug into those reel-to-reels. And I don't think I had time, or I didn't have the wherewithal to think about trying to listen to it in cue on the board.
Uh-oh.
So I just left it. Nobody ever said anything. I guess I made a clean edit. I don't know.
She's amazing, people.
That was my first experience.
We need like an audience here. Come on. Give her a slap for it.
Well, that career was fun while it lasted. One night. Oh, no. Nobody ever knew. And then I had 2 jobs in that market at the same time. That radio station, and when rap and hip hop was really young in like that really early 80s.
Oh, wow.
I worked at this station called, I can't remember what the number was, but it was KMYX. So In the Mix is what it was. So it was like some real cool, like old school R&B, which wasn't that old in the early 80s, but
They didn't care that you were at 2 different stations.
Well, this is where it got interesting. They did care.
Right.
They were like, we really need a female on the air. We have all men. We need a woman. My boyfriend at the time said, my girlfriend's a DJ. She works at K-Star 96. And by then I was full time. I was doing midnight to 6 full time. Oh, God, it
wow.
almost killed me. I'm not. That
Yeah.
that was rough.
fun.
Yeah. And so playing, sleepy music.
Sleepy.
Yeah. Wake up! So then on Saturday nights, I went over to the Crosstown station and I became Gina Roberts in the mix.
Oh, Gina Roberts. That's a good name.
It is. They were like, you need to come up with a new name and can you start tomorrow? And I'm like, what?
That's amazing.
So I don't know where I picked Gina from.
That's funny,
It was
man.
magical.
But it was Robert was my dad's middle name. His name is Emmanuel Robert, very Sicilian. And so I think that's why I picked Gina, because it had
Yeah,
sort of an
that's kind of an
Italian sounding
Italian
name.
name, Gina.
So I went with that, Gina Roberts. And
Gina Lola
You know,
Brigida.
sometimes
yeah, no,
I can't
that
even say
I was
that.
not. Yeah, Gina Lola Brigida.
That's
right?
it.
Is that
Yes,
it?
that's a mouthful.
when I was first emailing you, it's like Anna Lee. I'm like, is it? Because some people, Lee could be a middle name. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
am I calling? Am I saying thanks, Anna? Am I think thanks, Anna Lee? That's weird. If that's your last, I was always.
I
thinking
love that.
about
I get
how
that
should
a
I do
lot.
that.
But you know what I love about radio?
Yeah,
Theater of the mind. Nobody
right.
knows.
excellent.
I like that.
Lee could be my last name. It's a
Right.
lot of people's last name,
Yeah.
right?
No,
but
I
it's
don't-
actually my first name.
La
Anna
la
Lee.
la 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 la. I don't need to know.
Okay, you don't want to know?
No, I do
I
want
wanna
it.
know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yes.
Because a lot of people
Yeah.
ask me that.
Yeah.
But it is. Anna Lee is my first name.
Oh,
And then my middle name is Maria.
oh.
And then I have a very Italian last name. So,
Oh, what's your last name?
Canto, Canto. Means song or
Yes, it
sing
does.
in Latin
Of course,
languages.
it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not. I got ripped off. I do not sing.
But you.
But I play music on the
I
radio.
know, right? So you are singing. You are.
My
playing
dad
it.
was a fabulous singer. My mom, who is not Italian, she's from Appalachia. She's from Kentucky. She was born in like near Cincinnati, but her family was from Eastern Kentucky. So like Wise, Virginia, and my grandmother, I think, was born in Ashland, Kentucky. So I grew up on that kind of music. I grew up on porch music, everybody singing and playing. And my mom could sing and play anything. One time when I was an adult and had my first house, she had moved to Colorado and she came to visit me in LA, and I picked her up at the airport. And this was when "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" had just come out.
Oh yeah.
And this is the music we would listen to, that my grandma would sing "I'll Fly Away," that kind of stuff. So I go, Mom, you're not going to believe this CD. This is a soundtrack to a movie that you have to see. And of course, she already loved George Clooney because
Yeah.
he was from Cincinnati. So she was like, oh, he was, I know him. No, you don't. But
I
we
want
grew
to
up
know
together.
him.
Yeah, exactly. That was the truth. So
Yes.
I put on that soundtrack, and "I'll Fly Away" came on. She started singing those high harmonies, and I was like,
Wowza.
"Whoa, Mom!" I mean, she sang, and my dad, everybody sang and played music, whether it was albums or just we have a piano that I now have in my house that was my grandmother's.
Wow.
So
I
yeah,
love
it's really
that.
cool. I learned how to play on it when I was little, but I didn't practice.
Practice is the key.
It is, right? You guys know that to be
anything.
true. Yep. In anything,
In
you're right,
anything,
but
yeah.
especially in music.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't have that in my brain now at this stage. I mean, I was 4 when I started.
Yeah.
And it was probably pretty good by the time I discovered Black Sabbath, Riding Horses and
Yes.
Boys. When I was like 12.
Boys.
Oh yeah, they ruin
I
everything.
know. I know.
Can't live with them. Anyway.
I know.
So
I have 2.
Oh, you do?
I do.
And a husband. So you're in
and
a house
husband.
full of
And I
them.
have 3 boys and a girl.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've got 1 on my team.
Okay. Awesome.
And usually she's here. She helps us. Coco.
Yeah, she's our little, and
yeah.
she's our intern, and she's very efficient. And
Yes.
don't be doing her job because she will let you know that's my job.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to
Very
have.
seriously.
Yeah.
Everybody
She's-
needs a good intern.
So, where do you see things going in the industry, or you personally?
Well, me personally, the beach.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I love what I do, and people always say if you love what you do, it's not a job.
This is true.
It's kind of true. It's still a job.
It's still work.
It's still
You
work.
still have to be there.
Yeah, and I do love it, and I again, what I really love is getting to turn people on to music that I think is really cool. But as far as the industry, I mean, I don't think any economic crisis or any world crisis or anything can ever take music away from us.
I agree.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, look at the folk music of the 60s.
Oh, I know.
That people are not just revisiting those songs because they're still relevant, sadly, today, but they are.
Yeah.
And people are writing new anthems like that.
Yeah.
So there's nothing anybody can ever do to take music away from us.
No.
And if you donate, they won't take public radio away.
That's right.
You know?
Yes.
So I feel like I feel lucky to be working in public radio, and I also feel like it's a scary time to be in public radio because even though we are not directly funded from the Center for Public Broadcasting, we're a part of the NPR network,
Right.
and a lot of the programming like American Roots and E-Town and Searching for the First Rock and Roll Song, those are all shows that we get. We pay for them,
Right.
but we wouldn't be able to air them if we weren't part of that network.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, so there's, and all of those other stations like WPLN here in Nashville, that's a big public radio station that's news focused. They have XPN, which is, or NXP, sorry. XPN's the one in Philadelphia. WNXP is the Nashville
Okay.
kind of, AAA, kind of sounds a little bit like Lightning 100, the same kind of format.
Yeah.
So they have those two stations. They do get some funding from the Center for Public Broadcasting because they're a bigger station.
I see.
Not necessarily that they have a bigger signal. Here comes gear again, sort of.
Yes.
We have a 100,000 watt FM signal, which is
That's amazing.
it is amazing.
Yes.
I've never worked at. I worked in Los Angeles, but I've never worked at a station with that big of a signal.
Wow.
So we are.
That's huge.
We reach far and wide, and as long as we keep public radio alive, not just WMOT, but public
Right.
radio
In
around the
general,
country,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there'll be stations like us that play this music,
Yeah.
that support local artists.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, pros and cons of everything being in a digital world. Anybody can make music and send it to me.
Yes.
Pro, con, anybody can make music and send it to me. I mean, but that's good. I'd rather have, in this case,
Yeah.
more is more.
Well, when it's all available, that means things aren't being excluded. And so
Right.
otherwise, it's kind of like a sieve. You know, you put everything in and the bad stuff stays at the top. But it like you're almost like the sieve. You know, you get to filtering
Filtering it.
I
Yeah.
thought the cream rose to
Yeah,
the
which-
top. What?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
I'm
a-
just kidding.
you know, if you put a sieve, like the stuff you don't want is at the top of the sieve, and then the good stuff's in the cup
I
or
know.
wherever. So maybe not the best analogy. I don't know.
That's good.
Cream of the
Very
crop.
good.
You could use that one too.
Yeah.
But-
I've got an
I follow.
MOT question.
Okay.
Maybe you can answer.
Yay. Maybe.
All
I'll
right.
try.
The person that does from Cookeville to Columbia, you know, who is that person?
Good question.
That
It
voice is very distinctive. you
Yes,
know,
it
I don't-
is. And it is probably somebody you know if you listen to the local brew hour
Okay.
or if you listen just to WMOT regularly because she is an artist that we play in regular rotation. Her name's Katie Pruitt.
Okay.
Yeah. And I first met Katie Pruitt back in my Lightning 100 days. She was very young. She didn't have a label deal. She hadn't, I think, released a few singles. But she really kind of reminded me of a young Joan Baez. She really had a folk vibe about her. She had a lot to say, you know, thought she was a really talented writer. And so I became a fan and kind of got to know her a little bit, had her on my show back then. And then when I got to WMOT, I wondered the same thing. And I was like, who is that? Is that somebody that works here? And they were like, that's Katie Pruitt. And I was like, what?
Right.
So
Small
yeah,
world.
yeah, she's fantastic. And she's been doing those since the very beginning of WMOT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, super cool. Any other WMOT questions? I love to talk about the radio station. I feel like I've talked a lot about myself.
But that was the whole point. We want to know more about you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why you're here. But it is probably weird when you're used to being the one asking the questions and to all of a sudden have to talk about yourself.
Yeah, so and sometimes that's why I get like, I don't know. Like who have I interviewed? I can't even remember. There's, you know,
So many.
because it's been a long time. And then
Yeah.
there's all the metal artists that I interviewed when I worked at the metal station in LA
Wow.
from 86 to 95 when it went off the air.
Wow.
It's called KNAC. It's still on the internet at knac.com. It's not I don't know who runs it or who manages it now, but for a while after it got sold, and it was hugely popular because of the time that it was happening. You know, it was the 80s, and it was everybody had big hair, myself included.
I have big hair.
Did you guys have big hair?
Oh, with the hairspray and you'd spray it up. Oh, yeah, it was
Tease
nasty.
it up. Yeah. Bigger the better, up to here.
I've seen pictures. I'm like, oh my.
I know.
What was I thinking?
What was I
thinking?
thinking?
Yeah.
The clothes I wore too. I mean, we had a
I
band
know.
all through then. I mean,
Spandex.
and we had costume changes and everything. You know, Madonna was big. We were like, oh yeah.
So tore up fishnets, spandex.
Oh, we totally
yeah,
had
the
it
whole
all.
thing.
Like we
Leather.
wore like all the Madonna kind of esque outfits.
love it.
I mean,
I
not
love
like
it.
the bra with the cones or anything like that. Yeah,
That's where you drew the line.
yeah, it was kind of like more the early Madonna with the gloves and the tore
And the,
tights.
lots of the rubber bracelets.
I get
you
it.
know.
That
I
was my
totally-
favorite
I was
time.
into it. Burning up for my love.
So I have a funny. It's not really related to you per se, but it just kind of brought a memory up. So we used to play in this bar in college, and Madonna had just come out, and I'll never forget this conversation. It shows you how good I would not be good in A&R. So somebody's like, "What do you think about this Madonna chick?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, she won't last."
What?
You missed your calling as an A&R person.
Yeah, no, she won't. No.
Well, there was somebody that posted something recently. It was like a review of the Beatles show, one of the Beatles shows. Just some guy,
Jealous.
some older gentleman back in the whenever that was, early 60s, saying, "Well, they've got this and they don't have this and blah blah blah." Well, too bad, dude. You were wrong. I know. Wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're in good company, I guess.
Oh man.
I have a funny video that I can share with you. It's on YouTube, and it's from that metal station, and I believe it was 1988. It was Labor Day 1988. Bon Jovi was getting ready to release whatever that album was. I think it was called New Jersey, that one. And the song was Bad Medicine, and they were going to film a video for it at the Long Beach Arena, which was just a couple blocks down the road from the radio station, from the metal station. So I was doing the overnight shift then again at midnight to 6. It was brutal, live.
That is brutal.
But I was playing metal, so I was pretty awake. There was that. And I had a lot of people calling me in the middle of the night.
Really?
Yeah. People, security guards, people that were up partying, people that were,
I think that was funny.
Rock stars that were up partying. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of, it was really fun, that station. But anyway, so somebody, I think my boss came into the studio. I'm filling in for the midday guy, so I'm on from 10 to 3, I think it was. And he said, so the video crew is going to be here any minute, just to let you know. And I go, what video crew? And he goes, the MTV crew. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a joke. This is radio. I had just come because I was on at 10 in the morning, so I had to get there at like 9:30. So I got up early. I was used to having my days free.
Were you Gina Roberts?
No, this is Anna Lee. This is the animal Anna Lee.
The animal.
We all had to have a goofy name at the radio station.
Oh.
We had Filthy Phil, who Filthy Phil is the one that named me Animal Anna Lee. And Filthy Phil is now the Ducks announcer at Anaheim Stadium.
Really?
He has several NHL rings. He's been
Oh,
an
wow.
announcer for a
Filthy
while.
Phil. That's
Filthy
a good
Phil.
one.
Phil Hewlett. He was a great broadcaster. All those people were. Thrash Pie, Thrasher was my morning show partner. Tom the Leather Nun, rest in peace. She was amazing. I mean, Marie the Minx was one of our overnight DJ. I mean, we all had.
That's funny.
Nasty
I
Neil
love
was
that.
one. It was a metal station, so we
Oh,
were
It
like,
was a good time
in your
to
face.
be
Yeah,
alive.
yeah.
You know, like things were kind of wild
It
and
was
crazy
wild and free and
funny.
crazy, yes.
Everything was funny
it
and
was and loud.
nobody got offended all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
loud.
It was
Nobody
just-
got offended. We
Yeah.
said a lot of crazy stuff.
We did.
We were not restricted at all.
No.
That's what we said. Like,
Yeah, we were just
chicks with gear. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes. They weren't kidding. MTV showed up with their whole gear.
Oh my gosh.
And I was
Really?
like, what is happening? And so we were they were making a 30-minute piece called Bon Jovi is Back, the making of the Bad Medicine video.
Oh wow.
So the Bad Medicine video shoot was going on at Long Beach Arena. We had been promoting it on air because we wanted a bunch of our listeners to show up. Sam Kinison, if you remember Sam Kinison, he was involved, and he was there handing out video cameras to the kids as they all entered the arena. And the concept of the video was to use some of the fan video and put that together for the video.
Right.
So
Pre-cell phone.
the making, way pre-cell phone. 88, I guess it was.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So the piece was all about that and the concept behind it.
that's so
So they came into the radio station to tape the DJ that was on the air introducing a Bon Jovi song, talking about the video shoot. It was me. And I was like,
help.
I came straight from the stable. I had ridden my horse that morning.
Oh, wow.
Thank goodness it was not like scratch and sniff because I smelled like a barn. I looked okay, but I smelled like a barn. Thankfully, I had a radio station T-shirt on. I got on the intercom and said, anybody in here that has makeup, get to the studio. Stat.
911.
I was going to be on
Help.
MTV. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So I'll share that link with you because it's
I
pretty
had to
funny.
see
love
it.
to see that.
Yeah, and you can see when it goes from Bon Jovi talking cuts to me, and I'm like, is that the same person? Because we both have the big hair.
The big hair. It was
did have
real,
some
man.
big hair.
It's real.
And the crazy outfits we used to wear too,
Oh,
that were
man.
not even for on stage,
No.
just
Just to go out.
Just to go out.
Go to a little grocery store.
I always had like the little pink pumps with the ankle socks.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Oh my goodness, I've been
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, too funny. So yes, we both experienced that era, but that was another really special time when we went off the air in '95. The guys from Metallica, who were huge at that time. I mean, they still are, but they were, in the very beginning. Guns N' Roses also. We were the first station that ever played them.
Wow.
And they were just a local band. I mean, we played them on the local show.
Wow.
Guns N' Roses. I know, it's crazy. But that was in 80. I think the station went on the air as a metal station in January of 85. And I started in October of 85. So that first, so they came, Lars, the drummer, and James Hetfield, the leader of Metallica, they came and sat in the studio with us as we went off the air. We played their song, Fade to Black, as our last song. And we literally watched Chicks with Gear Alert. We watched the VU meters fade to black.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really intense. People have said a lot of things about them over the years. They can be cantankerous or whatever, but they hung out after after the station literally died right in front of us. They had to catch a plane and go back to the Bay Area because they were going to a Sharks game. They were big NHL Sharks fans. And so they walked outside, and when people figured out that they were live and Metallica was in the studio, they started showing up.
Oh, wow.
So there was a bunch of fans in the parking lot, and Lars and James stayed there and talked to him and signed autographs for a while before they literally had
That's
to go to
really
the airport.
cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I have a photo. I've got several photos from that day, but I have a picture of Lars sitting there like this with his head down, and he's got tears running down his face. I mean, we were the first station to play them too,
Really?
Yeah. Wow. That station was really instrumental in that scene worldwide. So
That's great.
I know. I love these stories.
it was a trip to be a part of that. It really was. And I'm still friends with all of those people that are still around. We've lost a few over the years, but we all get together occasionally. We're talking about a 40-year reunion,
Oh, that's really cool.
which would be a 40-year reunion of when we went off the air, which would be
oh my gosh.
40 or 30? No, 30.
30.
I was going to say, whoa.
95, 40.
Did the station go to different format or
Yeah,
something?
Spanish broadcasting.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is so funny. So Debbie and my favorite, and my husband, one of our favorite shows ever was Frasier, and I can quote
I love
everything from the
that.
movie, and everything revolves or something happens, and we're doing it. But
It's a Frasier quote.
One of my favorite episodes was when the Spanish broadcasters came in and took over their station.
It's
And
real
they-
life.
oh,
It was real life.
yeah.
Really happened.
And all the stuff going back and forth, and they were in the coffee shop, and it was like, well, I hear they're not doing well. And the little barista would go, because she knew what was happening on the progress.
That's so funny.
It was so funny. And then they finally got their show back, but
We did not. We got our show back online, knac.com. And when it first started, it was one of, internet radio was pretty new. This was like 96, I think, or 7 when it started.
Yeah.
So a little bit after we went off the air. But they called all of us original DJs and said, does anybody want to do this just for fun? We don't have any money or anything. And so we did. We all did it for a while. And then Bob Ezrin, who's a well-known producer, you guys might know him, he bought into it. And then they were also partnering with Enigma, the brothers that owned Enigma Records, who had a lot of metal bands back in the day. So they all pooled their money and bought it. And then we all started getting paid for it. And it was like a real thing. And so they don't own it anymore. And like I said, I don't know who runs it now, but it was really fun and really interesting to do radio like that in the early days of internet radio, because people that, like, there were a lot of military guys that had been huge fans of KNAC that had since gone into the military, and they were listening from overseas, from wherever they were. And it was remarkable to me that, it's kind of like when I was really young and I was in radio school and I had to have a temp job. So I worked at Disney Imagineering, where they build like the rides for Disneyland and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So they were working on Euro Disney, which was in Paris, I think. I don't know if it's still there, but
I don't either.
they had me fax something. I'm talking like 80, 82, 83. And I was like, okay, what's that? And fax it. And it's going to be in Paris in the morning? What?
It's so magical.
Did you guys see Almost Famous? Have you seen Almost
Yes,
Famous? Don't you love that movie so
Yes.
much? When the Ben Fong Torres, the guy from Rolling Stone, is like, and you put it in the fax machine and it'll be, and I was like, oh, that was me.
Yeah. I was like, how? I don't understand.
Yeah.
That's gear of a different era for
Yeah.
sure.
And actually, I have some doctor friends. They actually still fax things.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Wow.
Remarkable.
From like medical laws or something. Like
interesting.
they have to actually
have
fax
that
them.
available.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knew?
Did not know.
Chicks with gear knew.
That's why you are Chicks with Gear in the know.
Yes.
What a career, man.
I know. I'm
know.
amazed.
I guess that's one of the benefits of getting old. I've done a lot of stuff at this point, but
Yeah.
it's remarkable. It's funny when we sit here and talk about it because it's not like I think about it all the time. Certain things remind me of things, and but to sit here and talk about it, I'm like, oh wow, yeah,
I
a
did
lot of
that.
stuff.
You and Lars and James.
I know. Hang
I have
I
a
call
picture
them by their
somewhere of me
first
sitting
name,
on,
hanging out.
sitting
I
on
know.
James's lap drinking champagne.
Hanging out with Show
I don't know
Crow.
where that photo is.
I know.
Yeah, she was cool.
I'm a big fan of
we
hers.
talked about horses because she's a horse lady too.
yeah.
So.
I don't know if she still does, but she lives or
Yeah.
did very close to here.
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I thought.
Does
I
she
don't
still
know.
live over there?
I don't know if I thought I heard that her ranch was for sale, but I'm not sure. I have a friend that a musician here in town that his name is Foster McGinty. He's really great, and he's gonna play Finally Friday later on this year. He's played it before, but he's got several of her band members that work with him, like Robert Kearns, her bass player, and I don't know who. I don't think Fred Eltringham, the drummer, is in it this time, but he's played with
He's
Foster
done
before.
it because I know that name.
You
You're
do?
saying, and I don't know him, but I've seen it and I've seen it.
Oh,
I
cool.
think they
Because
were
you
in
listen to the
Yeah.
local brews.
Well, yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'll have to ask him because he might have the lowdown on that, but I don't know. But yeah, she was super cool. And it's, besides all the great artists that I've met and some that I've become friends with, like Aaron Lee Tasjan, he's just such a great artist and really is what inspired me to do the local brew the way I did it when I first started doing it, which was to interview an artist and then have him do a live show. We did a live show at the local in down on wherever that is, down on West End, back in 2019. And every time I would interview him, he would always talk about his artist friends, like you should hear Lily Hyatt's new album, or you should hear what Alan Thompson's doing, or he would just mention people in the East Nashville community. And I'm like, well, we're here to talk about you, but he would always want to lift his friends up, an artist that he was working with or producing. So I thought that was really cool. And when I started the local brew, I would do my interview and then have the artist tell me about somebody that I might not know about
Yeah, it's cool.
in the scene. So I could, just kind of even broaden it. Yeah. It's kind of fun. Then got away from doing interviews during the pandemic and was doing it like electronically and just writing about it, but it's not the same. I would put a video link so you could hear the music, but it's not the immediacy of being on the radio.
Yeah,
so.
it's definitely different.
Yeah, but it's still cool. And at this point, I'm still amazed at how much new music is available in this community in our format to be able to put out. I do stretch the boundaries a little bit on the local brew. You might get something a little more, maybe a little more indie or indie folk or indie pop than you might get in regular programming at WMOT. But even at WMOT, our umbrella for Americana music is wide.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that's what makes it interesting for a listener too, is that it's more broad, and instead of having to just keep poking around channels to find what you like.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what we pride ourselves on.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't want you to poke around. We want you to stay there.
I know.
But by bringing, and we do even venture into the sort of indie pop folk world in regular programming as well. But, you might hear, there's an artist called Michigander. He lives here in Nashville, but he's from Michigan. And one of our DJs, who's also an artist, Chloe Kimes, she turned me on to him a while ago. And Jesse Scott, our program director, has added him into regular programming. He's definitely more on the indie side. But that might get followed up by a Marty Stewart song, who I love.
Me too.
Don't you love Marty Stewart?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, is he not just an amazing talent, but The Pilgrim? What an album.
I know.
And the one he made with Mike Campbell of the Heartbreakers, Way Out West. Oh, I listen to that often. His last album I love too. I can't think of what it's called right now. But
I haven't heard that one.
what
He
is
was
it called?
always very nice to us. The first night we ever played on the opera, he was there.
Really?
And he came in and talked to us. Yeah, he was really nice. We met him backstage at Tootsie's too. And just always very nice and kind and
That is so cool
welcoming.
to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually met him, but I've seen him play a few times. And he just seems like he's a real guy,
Yeah.
And he's a showman.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what I really loved about him too, is that, whenever you see him, he's dolled up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, the hair, the outfits, the Mandos, and there's just something, it's a little old school, but it doesn't ever feel old. Like you know what I mean? Like he's been around a long time, but it's him.
It's him. Same with
very
Jim
authentic.
Lauderdale. He wears those suits, and I'm like, it would look weird if Jim was just up there in regular jeans and a t-shirt, right?
Yeah. He also does like a lot of collecting and photography. And when we were on the road with Charlie Daniels, we were playing somewhere and they had some auction stuff. And of course we had no money. And it was really cool because there was a picture of, was it Hank Williams boots? Mm-hmm. And so he had done these pictures of Hank Williams boots, and Debbie really wanted this photograph. And it was like, it was already past where we could do. And the bus driver from Charlie bought it and gave it to Debbie.
Oh, what a great story.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know.
Hank Williams boots?
I know.
I would
Yeah.
cry.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just,
that's so sweet.
yeah, and it's just really interesting the stuff you see or do or things happen on the road. So it's just really cool to meet people that we've never met before through this podcast too. Like we would have never like really got to know you without this podcast.
Right.
And we are so grateful that you agreed to come on, not knowing what to expect. But seriously,
That guy there.
yeah.
Very excited all the time.
Yeah, we told him you were coming, so he was super pumped up. But it has been really fun to we've had people on that we've never met. Like John Cowan came on. We could
he's
not
amazing,
believe
right?
that he would come on here.
nice to us.
What a cool guy.
He is
Yes.
a cool guy.
I've only met him twice. Once because he played his new band Herculeons. He played Finally Friday, so I got to interview him. But it was brief. The interview is like 2 minutes when we do that. And then he came to a Finally Friday to see. I think it was to see Foster McGinty, who I was just talking about, because I think he knew Foster somehow, and so he came just as a fan, to the show. So. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been. I just think the music community in Nashville is amazing, but
It is.
to try and get involved in the music community now, it's so hard because everything's so changed. But the podcast for us has just been an amazing way to get people in, talk them, and then put it out there so
And
people,
make the connections, right?
and make connections, and also to to have people that have had these long careers on. It's kind of weird how the people we've had on, most of them have had these long careers. And I'm thinking, how cool is it for someone younger coming into town to be able to hear the beginning of someone's story toward where they kind of were highlighting and then what they're still doing in their career.
Yeah.
It just doesn't end just because you're a certain age anymore.
That's one of the beauties of Nashville.
Yeah.
And that is literally one of the reasons we moved here, because Jay, my gearhead partner, who is a songwriter and a fabulous guitar player, in LA, he was always either a lead guitar player, songwriter, and even a lead singer for a while, but that's not his forte. He pulls it off in a rock band. But he's always in a band. In fact, his band opened for the Wallflowers before anybody knew who they were.
Really?
Yeah. At this club called the Coconut Teaser back in Hollywood. It was a legendary club. And, but in Nashville, I think he's a little younger than me. So he was in his 30s when we moved here. I was in my early 40s. And you don't age out in Nashville. You do in LA. When you're in a rock band in LA and you're in your 30s, which now seems so young to me.
I know, because it is.
Right? It is. You age out and they're like, I bet that was cool a few years ago or whatever. They don't say that, but they're
But they
thinking
mean it.
And then you just get to a point where, am I just going to be a happy-go-lucky bar band forever, or do I really want to do something? And he was writing all these great, what now we call Americana. We kind of called it alt country back then.
Yeah.
But all kinds of great songs like that. Heavily influenced by people like Jim Lauderdale and Steve Earle and the old greats too.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Merle Haggard and so, and of course he loves rock and roll too.
Yeah.
This is the guy I met working at a metal station.
Yeah.
Answering the request line.
I love that story.
It was that same week that the Bon Jovi video shoot happened.
Oh, really?
It was a weird kismet thing because I was filling in for the midday jock and he was filling in for the person who was his normal phone volunteer. That person wasn't available. So Jay showed up and we just became friends.
That's really cool.
Here we are 30 plus years later.
That's amazing.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that.
I know. Come on. That's not easy to do.
It's not easy.
Yeah, he's my best friend. So. And I get to use his guitar skills for my theme show on my theme song on my
Cool
show.
is that? I know. It's really cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My goodness, this has been an amazing interview. I've just,
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any last MOT questions, Andy? Gear questions? No.
No.
Okay.
Love Webb Wilder's show.
Oh, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he is such
I
a
don't know
gem.
him, but he's so cool.
Oh, well, you'll have to meet him. I mean, his album release show is at Riverside Revival. He's got a new album coming. April 26th is when the show is. So you should go meet him because he's just.
Right?
You should have him on the podcast.
You should have. He would
Yes.
totally do it.
Would he
Right.
really?
Are you
Okay.
guys
Yeah.
talk
Oh my
about
God.
stories? You think I have stories? Oh my goodness! Get Webb Wilder in here.
Yeah.
Oh, he would do it. He lives around here too. He's kind of
really?
probably your neighbor. He lives over in Westmead, I think, or
I mean,
something.
I met him on the road a million years ago. Also,
Yeah,
so-
my husband actually has met him. He's from his whole family's from Murfreesboro, and both his dad and his uncle worked at the university for many years.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how, but I don't know if he had done shows, and Kirk went out there to see him, but he was like, I know that guy.
He's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is immensely talented, as you guys know.
Yeah.
But he is a fantastic broadcaster on top of being an incredible musician. He
Yeah,
worked for
yeah, he
our
is.
program director, Jessie Scott, at Sirius XM. She started the Outlaw Country Channel, and he had a show there years ago.
cool.
So
Yeah.
when she started at WMOT, she was like, "We got to get Webb in here." And he started just doing that countdown show, and
Yeah.
now he does the Daily Show. He comes on right after me.
Oh, wow.
So every day I get to say, Webb Wilder's.
Oh.
That is really amazing, actually. Yeah, we would love to have him on here too.
Okay.
That would be so cool.
I'll make the connection.
All
That
right,
would be
thank you.
fabulous.
Well, we're going to toast you.
Yes.
Because
Oh
you're
my
an
gosh.
amazing woman.
Yes, you are.
And-
It's a good thing we're going to toast now and stop this madness because I'll just keep talking.
That's all right.
Well, we enjoyed it so much. Oh my gosh.
So fun.
Thank
It was
you.
really fun. So
Yep,
good.
that is my
Refreshing.
favorite. It is very refreshing.
How's the lime, Andy?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah? New favorite?
It's green.
It is green.
So
Yep,
good.
that is my
Refreshing.
favorite. It is very refreshing. On that note, I'm sad to say that's all we have. for today.
That was fun. Thank you.
Please don't forget to like and share and subscribe below. And thank you so much for tuning in.
And if you have any questions or comments, please comment below.
And we would love to say thank you so much again, Annalie, for coming and joining and gracing
I'm going to
us.
say thank you again. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me. It was so much fun. I needed a good laugh, and this was a lot of fun. And we laughed and we talked about crazy stuff.
Yes, and it was such a pleasure to get to know you.
You too.
Yeah.
You
Thank
too,
you.
Julie, and you too, Andy.
Yeah. And so
Likewise.
and until next time,
Don't you worry about it.